Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of CAP Explained. Today we're looking at the long-awaited episode of authorization and authentication. So to start off, I want to show you a difference between these two terms because that's not the same thing. I've generated this beautiful slide here. And what is the difference? So authentication is the process of verifying your identity. So it's gonna, when you try to log into something, the system checks if you have the assigned role that you need to have. And the process of authorization, or the authorization itself, it's not a process. It's defining permissions. It's telling the system what can you access or do. So if I can write, if I can read, if I can do changes, if I can call actions, that's the process of authorization. So if I'm gonna be defining some requirements in my service, I'm doing the authorization. If the process of authentication is checking your identity. Okay. And let's start off. Let's go to our service.cds. Here in our service definition, you can restrict our application a little bit. Okay. And it's going to be the same thing as with the other cases. We're going to again use annotations. So let's go and let's restrict the authors entity. I'm just going to copy the same line. This shortcut is Shift Alt arrow down to do it, just to copy the same line. And it's annotate bookstore service.authors with add requires. And here you pass in the role that the user is gonna need to access this particular projection. So let's say that's a very common case. The admin role is needed to open this service. Control Shift C to open a terminal and CDSW to start the server. Let's see what this one line changed in our application. So either we can go to the application of authors list view, or we can open the service endpoint of authors. If I try to access it, the system is gonna first ask me now for a user. You need to log in, basically it says. If I try to pass in something now, for example, I'm gonna type in Marcin, that's my user, and want to try to sign in, it's gonna say, nope, you're not gonna access this. I don't know if you can see this correctly, but it's telling forbidden 403. So basically no access granted. And in the backend, we can also see it that it's 403. So we haven't, the user margin is not having the role of admin, so you cannot access it. And currently we have no users in the system because that's a mock situation. We need to define some real users, or rather define mock users in the package.json. So let's actually create a user here, and CDS requires. So CDS requires when the server we run CDSW, it's reading this and saying, what should I use? So we use already the SQLite database. And apart from the database, we can also define some users. Okay, and we do that by doing the authentication, so auth, and then in an object, we tell what kind of authentication is that, and it's gonna be the kind of mocked, which is basically no type or like dummy type, and then define some users to this mocked type. Okay, so we define some users by passing in here an object, and let's go with the basic default of user Alice, which is the most known user in the world, at least here in CAP. And we can define some parameters for the Alice user. And the first parameter, of course, is going to be the password. You can leave this empty to make things quicker. But I like to define a user. Let's say the password is 123. And the second most important, interesting thing for us is going to be the roles. So here we pass in an array, and let's say I'm passing the admin role. Of course, I can add multiple roles to a user, but for this case, let's stick to admin. And The issue now is if I try to go to this localhost 4004, the cache already remembers my user that I tried to log in. CAP doesn't feature like a logout functionality for now in the testing area, so we need to open a second port. We can clean the cache, we can restart the whole browser by doing edge backslash restart. I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna restart my Bass Studio also, so, but you can do that. Or a simpler way is just starting another server on a different port. So cdsw with the ports parameter, and I'm gonna call the port 4000, or let's say 4010, because 4004 is already in use, or the cache remembers not ports but port. Okay. And now if we go to this port, it's starting like a new server, a new browser, so to say. And if I try to, again, go to the authors entity, it's going to ask me for some kind of authentication. So let's type in the Alice user and 123 as the password. And as you can see, it allows me to access the data as usual. And also I can access the application that is using the authors entity, which is the authors list view. Okay, just as usual. So that's the first restriction you can do. We can type in this a little bit better. Instead of doing this annotations one by one, you can annotate it one time and pass it all here in these brackets. Let's do a little bit formatting and Shift Alt F to format it. And now I'm passing two annotations at one time. So it definitely looks a little bit better. Maybe let's stop the server because it's driving me crazy with this live changes. We can also, apart from annotating a projection, we can also restrict, for example, the action. So most cases we want the users to have the read access, but we won't give them the, I don't know, we won't allow them to call some action. So let's go here and we can annotate it from down below by doing this same, but a different type of annotation. Syntax is, as you see here, you can do it in the same line, like above of the action, above of the entity to restrict it. And the same syntax basically requires, and as default, you could also do authenticated user, because authenticated user, it means any user that has logged in, which is also very useful, also commonly used. But for our test case, I would say, let's go with a user that that can call actions, whatever. That is the name of the role. And let's actually create a second user. Not here. Let's go to the package. And I'm going to copy Alice right here. And let's create the user of Bob with a password 321. Let's go crazy. And the role assigned will be user that can call actions. Okay. And again, let's start the server, and I'm gonna start it on the same port we did before, so 4010, I believe. Okay, so now the cache is logged in as Alice, so I have only the admin role because I'm Alice. And if I try to go to the bookstore application and try to pass in this discount, let's say I want to buy cheap books and I'm not an admin, I try to click on it. Bang, forbidden, you cannot do that. 403, sorry. We get it, we cannot access it. Now let's close the server. Let's start another server on 4011 and try to log in as the Bob user, just so we can see that this form of authentication works. Okay. And now if I try to click on this, I'm not logged in as any user because it's a new port. If I click on it, it's going to ask me for my role. Okay, I could easily access the application because we haven't restricted the books entity with anything. You only restricted the action itself. So now I'm gonna log in as the user Bob and password 321, and you can see it work. We can see it work by looking at the price. It refreshes nicely. Of course, it's not gonna ask me every time I click, because once you log in, you of course are logged in. You can see the price goes down. Beautiful action, by the way. Check out the other episode if you want to see how this works. Okay, so let's stop the server and let's see if we can come up with another case, another possibility of granting certain actions to certain roles. So instead of restricting the whole service like we did here, you can restrict it by certain um, actions. Okay, I mean not restricting actions, but restricting them by certain actions like read, write access, and so on. And we do it the same above the books entity in our example. Add restrict, and to the restrict we pass in an array of an array of, so to say, grants, grant objects. So the first grant object in my case, I want to give the admin the possibility to read and write. Okay, so we could tell do everything. Everything is allowed for admin, but in this case, I just want to define the roles. So read and write, and I want to grant it to who I want to grant it to admin. Admin. Okay. And the second one, it's actually formatting this really ugly. So let me just copy this so it's easier. And the second one is gonna be let's say only the read access, and it's gonna be granted to the Bob user. So I'm gonna add the Bob user the role only read access. A very creative name. Let's format it a little bit, and let's add the only read access. We can actually simplify this to this one parameter instead of the whole array. And let's give in the Bob user a second role of only read access, which isn't really true because he can call actions, but whatever. And let's start another port of 4012. No errors, so we did everything fine. And we can open it and go to our books entity. I'm just thinking about which user I should log in first. Let's start with the Bob user. So Bob user has the password 321, and as the Bob user, as usual, I can read it, okay? Because we granted the read access for the role only read access, and the Bob user has this role, okay? And if I try to, for example, create an entity now, it says you cannot do that. You don't have the right access. You cannot write anything to my database. Okay, so a 403 is gonna be thrown. If I try to log in with a different user, which I need to restart the server, of course, port 4013, and let's go to our application. And if I do the same, but now I'm gonna log in with the Alice user, password 123, and if I try to click on create, it's gonna allow me that because I, as the admin user, which with the admin role, I can write. Okay, and if we stop the server, started on 4014, and I log in with a completely different user that has no roles or isn't even existing, for example, Marcin, it's not gonna even allow me to enter the application because I don't even have any role. Okay, you could also do something like instead of defining a particular role, I don't I really like this only read access to be saved to the GitHub. So let's go with authenticated user, and this basically means that any user that has logged in, and he can access he can get read access to this books projection. Okay, you're gonna often want to use it because when you don't have mocked security, you will have users that will need to log into your whole environments and so on and so on. So you always want to pass into certain roles, but you want to pass into only users that have logged in. And let's actually check this out. It's on 4015. So now I'm gonna log as the Bob user, which actually has is not an admin, so theory has restricted access, but Bob and the password 321 already count as a authenticated user. Okay, if I try to access it, everything I can do it. If I try to create, again, I cannot do that because I am not an authenticated user. And you get the role of authenticated user by default if you log into the application. Okay, so let me just delete this action and this role, and yeah, that's gonna be actually it for this episode because there's nothing more to it. You could, I don't know if I already said that, instead of defining particular roles and particular actions, you can actually give everything access. Okay, so for example, to the admin role, so this would be with the star be the same as doing that requires admin. And of course, if you want to read more about it, you can go to Capire to the authentication, to mocked authentication. Of course, I think in the future episode we're gonna go with IIS based authentication maybe, or no, rather XSUAA based authentication, most common used. Or here you can read basically the same thing I talked about in the episode. So as you can see, requires mocked and so on, and then also the grant. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna push it as always to the GitHub so you can see it by yourself. Thanks a lot for watching. Leave a like and subscription, and thank you very much, guys, for the support.